let's talk a little soccer, fellas. So Inter Milan, not Inter Miami, obviously, in the Champions League
Mm.
finals against PSG. You got the two best teams in Europe, in my opinion, playing today in what we've seen in the Champions League so far. I think it's going to be Inter Milan beating PSG, but PSG, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. It's actually kind of funny that they're in the finals, especially since they lost Mbappe. Messi's no longer on their team. Neymar is no longer on their team, and they finally make a Champions League final. So I haven't looked at the lines. I don't know who's favored, but if I was a betting
It's
man,
PSG.
that's what I figured. That's what I figured because of who they have. But if I was a betting man, I'd put my money on Inter Milan today.
Are you betting man tonight? Because if the Miami Herons defeat the Columbus Crew, they will jump them in the Eastern Conference standings. Has Inter Miami got a chance tonight? Remember, they got the midweek win against the worst team in MLS, Montreal. You get a brace from Messi. You get a brace from Suarez. Is this team figuring it out? Do they have a chance to figure things out against a decent, actually good Columbus Crew team?
I mean, let's be honest, guys. Beating last place Montreal, that's not a statement win.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's what a team like Inter Miami is supposed to do, right? With the roster that they have, with the expectations that they carry. Winning that match was the bare minimum. It shouldn't be overhyped or celebrated like some huge accomplishments like some fans have been doing. But like you said, Dan, the real test is tonight. Tonight, Inter Miami faces Columbus Crew, 7:30 p.m., Chase Stadium, one of the best teams in the MLS, a team that knows how to play with and without the ball. They press very well. They punish mistakes, and that's one of Inter Miami's weaknesses is they've been punished on a lot of their defensive mistakes over the last few games. And that's where we're going to see if Inter Miami, what they're truly made of, because beating the bottom of the table team doesn't define a contender, but tonight does.
Man, and we're a little shorthanded from what I'm understanding tonight, Inter Miami. Of course, you got the star power, but we're shorthanded in a lot of areas.
That's right. That's right. Injuries are starting to pile up for Inter Miami, and it's not just any players. It's Jordi Alba. Officially, he's out for the next at least a couple of weeks with a muscle injury. It's a huge loss in leadership quality on the left side. And they also have Gonzalo Lujan, who's still out. No clear timetable for his return. And also, to make matters worse, we still haven't heard the full prognosis on Toto Aviles, who exited Wednesday's game with what looked like an ankle injury. So for a team trying to compete on multiple fronts, guys, this kind of defensive instability is a real concern. The depth is being tested. And the next few weeks is really going to show what this squad is, if they can weather the storm and they don't start to feel the cracks.
So this is damn. All right. So I didn't know about these injuries happening, and then you're going into the big tournament that you want to win or at least show have a good showing against. But yeah, you're going against some of the greatest teams in the world of soccer, and your defense is mediocre at best. That doesn't sound like a good formula, bro.
It doesn't. But look, it all starts with the goal scoring for this team. If this team can get the goals in the back of the net, then the defense shouldn't be that big of an issue. We saw that against Montreal. They got 3 goals on them before Montreal could get 1 back. And then Messi scored that beautiful chip over the Montreal goalkeeper to put 4 on them. So when this team scores, they don't have that many issues. The issue is when they don't score and they allow the other team to get 1, 2 before they can get one, then it gets a little bit, a little bit tough to get the goals back. And when you start trailing by 1, 2 goals, especially like you said, Vlad, with that defensive liability, you start to push up a little bit more and you start to become a little bit more liable on the defensive end, especially with the counterattacks, which a lot of MLS teams have figured out that's the way to beat Inter Miami this year.
Inter Miami's got a tough slate ahead of them. Of course, they're dealing with the injuries. Then you've got the Club World Cup. Al Ahly is coming to town. That is from Egypt. That's the biggest club in Africa. Club in Africa. Oh, man. I'll tell you, this Club World Cup, getting even out of the pool, out of the club, out of the initial club pool play, that's going to be even a win if Inter Miami can even do that, because Porto is so good out of Portugal. It's just going to be really tough, Daniel. I'll be honest with you. You have to agree with that, right?
100%. I think the goal for Inter Miami should be not to get embarrassed. I think we've seen, and it's tough to say that, right? It's really hard to say it on them, especially with the team that they have and the players that they have. But you're going up against Al Ahly, who is the Egypt champions for the last 15 years. You're going up against Porto, like you said, Dan, who is one of the powerhouses in Portugal. And then you also have Palmeiras, which is a very, very good Brazilian team. And a lot of these teams are also bringing in new players. We haven't started to talk about that. I'm sure we're going to talk about that soon. But a lot of teams are starting to sign players, bring in players. One of the players on Palmeiras that we have to be very, very curious with and we have to watch out for is Estevao. He's a young player, fantastic. He's taken the Brazilian league by storm this year, and he's rumored to be going to either Real Madrid or one of these big clubs in Europe by the end of the Club World Cup. So it's going to be a very, very tough group stage for Inter Miami, but we're going to see if they can sign a couple of players like Mascherano has asked for over the last couple of weeks, and we've heard some names and some rumors of players that could possibly be coming, and we'll see if they can, if they can do something in the group stage. But it's definitely going to be tough, especially with some of these teams coming in, and a lot of the teams at first weren't taking it serious, right, guys? And now. Right. They are. You see the teams making signings. Real Madrid just signed Trent Alexander-Arnold. We know Modric is going to stay with them at least through the Club World Cup. We've heard that Benfica is going to keep Angel Di Maria through the Club World Cup. Then he will sign with his boyhood club, Rosario Central. So you're starting to see a lot of these teams sign players, take this tournament serious. And the reason is because the prize money is just out of this world. The prize money, if you win this, is absolutely insane. It's nothing like any other tournament that FIFA has ever organized before. So that's really what these teams are starting to look at. The eye is on the prize, and the prize money is very big here. So if Inter Miami can get a win, that would be, if for every win that you get in the group stage, you also get money, a payout. So if they could get a win, that would be fantastic for them because they would get some sort of payout. If you pass groups, you get another bonus payout. So that has to be the goal for Inter Miami, not getting embarrassed and then trying to pass the group.
All three of us should be at some of these games with the FIFA Club World Cup.
I gotta go.
No. We had meetings. We've had meetings, so we'll do that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So the winner of this FIFA Club World Cup gets $125 million and gets to hoist the trophy. So
$125 million.
Yeah, that's why everybody's like, nobody cares. They're not going to play their best players. It's like, what?
How many players are on the team?
I do want to say one of the most intriguing matchups, and I want to get your idea on this, Daniel Solana, because you're probably a little more in the know than I am. My favorite team from Argentina, Boca Juniors, in the first game that they play is going to be facing perennial, not only champion in Bundesliga Germany, but they're always in the tops for the UEFA Champions Cup. They're playing Bayern Munich. Is there a chance that Bayern Munich could embarrass Boca Juniors?
I hope.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely, there's a chance. Remember, Boca Juniors. Yeah, Boca Juniors is not playing any international tournaments this year. They made it into the Copa Libertadores, but were knocked out in the pre-rounds. They haven't been doing well in the Argentinian league. So it could be very well that they could get embarrassed. We're gonna have to see. There are some names that are tied with them to be signed over the next couple weeks. But again, it's really gonna come down to what are the signings that some of these teams are gonna make, and are the European teams gonna make better signings than some of these other South American, MLS, and Asian teams? And really, at the end of the day, that's unfortunately for Europe. That's the advantage that they have over the rest of the world. Everybody wants to go to Europe. They have the money. They can afford these players. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. But one thing you guys haven't mentioned, and this is something that Inter Miami fans need to keep their eye on, is there's a big game tonight. America from Liga MX is facing LAFC in what is the playoff for the final Club World Cup spot, because we all know León was kicked out of the Club World Cup because their owner owns two teams that is currently in the Club World Cup. So they kicked them out. Now the final.
Wait, what? Hold on.
You didn't know that?
Hold on.
Can't do that.
I've been out the loop for a week, man. I just got back.
You can't be a majority owner of two teams.
So wait a minute.
If
you're a majority owner of two teams, they cannot be involved in this tournament. So you have to select one team as the owner that's going to be involved in this?
No, the owner didn't even select. FIFA selected for them.
Yep. That happened in Nottingham Forest over there in the Premier League.
That's effed up, man. So what if my teams are good and I bought them? Come on. That's ridiculous.
Those are the rules, lad. Those are the rules. So, yeah.
But this is a tournament of a tournament that just started. This is not even this is the first. Isn't this the inaugural tournament?
Well, it is.
So what?
They're setting a precedent.
So what are they trying to say? They don't want no cheating going on? Like, yo, we're going to put both of his teams he's going to try to influence that both his teams get into the finals so that he gets the $125 million no matter what? That's messed up, man. Not my fault that I own good teams.
Yeah, I mean that part I don't know. I don't know the exact reason as why they were taken out. I know that it was mentioned that it was because the owner owned two teams in the Club World Cup. But getting to today's game,
that's like telling me I can't run my horses in a Belmont Stakes because I got two horses. in the Belmont Stakes.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. Horse racing is a little bit different than football, lad.
What are you talking about? It's. I mean, I know it's a horse and a team, but it's kind of similar. If I got two horses and they're good and they're gonna race in a race, you telling me Belmont the horse? Who runs the horse? By the way, I forgot who runs the horse. Whatever. Who runs the, not a jockey. The corporation. Whatever.
Bill Baffert.
Horse Association is gonna tell Bill Baffert that, oh no, Bill, you can't have two horses on a race because
Well, remember, Bill Baffert's a trainer. Bill Baffert's a trainer, so he could have many horses. But I don't know if they have an owner that have many horses in the Belmont Stakes. I don't know. That's actually a really good question.
I should have many teams. If I own and I'm a great businessman and a great owner and I hire the great people and I got the players in a tournament like this. This is not Champions League, right? This is a tournament. If I got two champions from different parts of the country, they should be able to participate in this. That's just me.
Part of the argument would be that you could spend enough money to get a bunch of teams in there, and you could also determine outcomes of games, because if your two teams actually face each other, you could possibly have some collusion in there. That might be something that they're trying to avoid.
Collusion solution.
Right, let's talk about money, but let's not talk about soccer. Daniel Solana grew up right here, South Florida, lifelong Florida Panthers fans. I've seen pictures of you and your brother in Florida Panthers gear since you were knee-high to a grasshopper. Would you pay the $400, $500 a ticket to go see the Panthers in game 3 or 4 at Amerant Bank Arena?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have a son to worry about. I have a mouth to feed. And unfortunately, that $400, $500 is a lot of money for one game. I mean, if 560 wants to, I'm always willing to head out there. But no, I'll have Solana, my brother Alejandro Solana, represent me over there. I know he's got the money. He's definitely rolling in the dough, and like one of the fans here said, Richie, he asked if my brother was a spoiled one of the family. Absolutely, he's definitely the spoiled one in the family. So maybe he can hit up Eduardo or Deborah for a little loan.
Is that what consentido means?
100% spoiled.
Okay.
Go ahead, Vlad.
I was about to say. So wait a minute, Daniel Solana, you won't pay the money to go up to Broward. See this? I just realized something.
But he will play to follow all across the world.
Right. This is what I realized about here. I'm gonna start a South Florida beef right now.
No.
Dade County residents are snooty.
Oh, man.
They are snooty and snobby compared to Broward County. See, Broward would go to Kaseya Center to go see the Heat, but Dade County is not really going up to Broward County to go see the Panthers play.
I mean, you can't really say that, because I go up to Broward County to watch Inter Miami play every other week.
You love Inter Miami, but that's your team. We just stated you'll fly all across the country to go see Suarez play. If Suarez was playing in the muck, you would go to the muck. You would go to Belgrade to watch Suarez play. That's how much you love Suarez. But you going to come up to Broward County, nice sawgrass, sunrise, to go see a team going to their third straight Stanley Cup final and have a chance to win back-to-back Stanley Cup final, and then you're saying, no, you're not going to make that.
It's not about the travel, Vlad.
It's not about it's not about the travel. It's the money of the ticket. I just don't want to pay $400 for a ticket.
But he would pay $400 to go see Suarez.
Uruguay.
100%.
What are you talking, man?
That's true Solana talk right there. 100%. Well, what's the argument?
I don't understand. I don't understand the issue, Vlad.
I think you guys are snooty and snobby. That's what I'm saying. Dade County that would not go up to Broward County to go watch the Panthers play. I think more Panthers fans are from Broward and Palm Beach County than they are Dade.
We're going to see next year when Miami Freedom Park opens over there where the Mel Reese Park was before. We're going to see how many Broward County fans come down to watch Inter Miami when that stadium is in Dade County. And we'll have this chat. We'll have this chat in about 8 months.
I still think they'll go.
A couple things. Number one, the hardcore supporters like the Southern Siege, like Vice City 1896 represent. They're still coming because these are guys and girls that live way down in Kendall that are making the trip up to Inter Miami. They're going to be, no matter where this team plays. I have had a lot of people in Broward County. They even have season tickets that tell me I'm not renewing when it moves down to the Freedom Park. That's people tell me.
It's a rough drive. Look, for us that live in Dade County to drive up to Chase Stadium on a Wednesday for that Montreal game, it would take me an hour and 45 minutes. Easy. I'm gonna make the drive. I'm gonna make the drive to go, because I'm going to go cover the game. I'm going to go, watch the game. But unfortunately for the and also the tickets are, $60-$70. You're talking about $400 for a ticket here. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. And I got a couple mouths to feed. So unfortunately for me, it's out of my budget. You're going to get mad at me, Vlad, because when I tell you where I am going, so I'll be going to Inter Miami versus Porto in Atlanta on June 19th to watch that game in the Club World Cup. But luckily, the ticket was given to me by a friend. So all I had to do was pay for my airline ticket. So I was able to get my airline ticket with miles. So I'm basically going to a Club World Cup game for free, thanks to my buddy who supported me for the ticket.